You minus something equals God. You are closer to God than you think. Let me explain all about this. Prepare to discover a profound truth that will bring you closer to God than you've ever imagined. Imagine for a moment that your identity, your name, gender, language, memories, your place in the family and among friends, is like a heavy backpack that you've been carrying around without even realizing it. Each element of who you think you are shapes how you perceive the world and interact with it. But what if you could set down that backpack for a moment? What would remain? In this context, you refers to the sum of your experiences and relationships with things and people, encompassing all aspects of your identity. What remains, when these layers are momentarily shed, is the essence of your being, unburdened and free. From the moment of your birth, you entered the world free of any predefined sense of self. Initially, there was just an unfiltered experience of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling. Imagine a newborn. There's no thought of, I am looking at a red toy. There's just the pure, vibrant experience of redness and the shape of the toy. As you grew, your parents and the world around you started to label these experiences, and you began to see yourself as separate. There's me and there's everything else. You were born without a sense of I. It was just your senses that existed, a world that was seen, heard, smelled, tasted, and felt. After a year or so, when your parents called you by your name several times, you started to divide existence into I here inside my body and other things and people out there outside my body. During this time, your identity was built and your so-called ego was formed. As you adopted your name and began to identify with various aspects of your life, your gender, your roles, your preferences, your ego, a construct of your identity, began to solidify. This ego isn't just a static thing, it's dynamic, fed by constant interactions and experiences. Think about a day in your life. From the moment you wake up, your identity is affirmed by your surroundings, your choices, and even your thoughts. You are the sum of all this, the energy held together every day in your body as a sort of sum of thoughts, memories, experiences that are rendered out in an inexplicable feeling of vague tension in your body. This energy is maintained in your entire body as soon as you wake up in the morning until you fall asleep at night. This ongoing sense of self or ego can often be like a buzzing background noise, so constant that you hardly notice it. But it's this very noise that can distance you from the experience of life as it truly is, a direct, unfiltered interaction with the world. When you subtract these accumulations, the labels, the history, the ego, what remains is a deeper, more expansive sense of being that is connected to everything, which some might call God. By setting aside what you think defines you, even momentarily, you can tap into a universal truth where the separation between you and the world fades. Here, in this space of clarity and lightness, you meet the divine. You aren't just close to God. You realize that you, minus your accumulated identities and stories, are an expression of the divine itself. The phrase, the less of you, the more of God, echoes a sentiment found in many spiritual traditions, emphasizing humility, self-transcendence, and the diminution of the ego to experience a greater connection with the divine. This concept is reminiscent of a famous saying attributed to John the Baptist in the Christian New Testament, where he speaks about Jesus Christ. He must increase, but I must decrease, John 3:30. This isn't just a thought experiment. It's a doorway to a new way of being in the world, where every moment is infused with a sacred simplicity. This realization that you are inherently connected to everything is both liberating and profound. You, minus ego, truly equals God. God in the equation can represent many terms depending on who you ask. It could also be called consciousness, love, bliss, the universe, your higher self, the all or non-duality, among others. But what does the you minus the question mark represent? The simple answer is you before your ego was created. So in other words, you were God when you were born. You were just pure consciousness, as non-judgmental as the bed you lay on or the clothes on your body. Neither the bed nor the clothes had any opinion or judgment about their place on earth. They simply existed. Just as your body was, simply existing. Your body, the bed, and your clothes happened to be in the same place, in the same room. But isolated, these objects were just three collections of atoms. It would require a consciousness with an ego to distinguish them from each other, an ego that also labels and judges as good, bad, warm, cold, soft or hard, and so on. Let's delve deeper into this concept. When we speak of you minus something equals God, we're really talking about subtracting those layers of identity that you've accumulated over the years, your beliefs, labels, roles, and the narrative of who you think you are. Each of these is like a veil, obscuring the luminous essence beneath. Now, imagine a day in your life devoid of these accumulated layers, without the roles you play. Be it a parent, employee, friend, or even a citizen, what remains? There's a silent observer. A part of you that simply watches, experiences, and exists without judgment or attachment. This observer is your connection to something greater, a boundless presence that resonates with the essence of all things. Consider the nature of the universe, vast, interconnected, constantly in flux, yet fundamentally stable and unified. Your true essence, when free from ego, reflects these qualities. You are not merely a bystander in the universe, you are a part of its endless dance. By recognizing this, you come closer to understanding the divine nature within. This realization isn't just theoretical, it has practical implications for your daily life. When you start to see yourself as more than just your personal history or your future ambitions, you open up a space of immense peace and possibility. This space allows for true compassion, love, and joy to arise, qualities that are often attributed to a higher power or divine essence. In essence, recognizing you minus ego equals God is about seeing the divine nature that is already a part of you, simply obscured by the non-essential. By peeling back these layers, you not only come closer to your true self, but also to the universal truths that bind us all. Welcome home to your divine self. Welcome to the dance of eternity. Thank you for being here. If you resonate with this, subscribe, comment, and give a like. Until next time, love, light, and blessings to you.